And today I'm going to do a video of the biggest NBA draft bust, the 2010s, but I'm not going to include the 2018 and 2019 NBA drafts because those players are still too young to tell if they're going to be good or not. Starting with the 2010 NBA draft, we got Wesley Johnson, who was drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves with the 4th pick. In his rookie season, he underperformed with averages of 9 points per game on 39% from the field and 35% from the three, which is an okay efficiency, but not enough points. And this is also a very star-studded draft with all-stars like DeMarcus Cousins, Paul George, and Gordon Hayward, both drafted after Wesley Johnson. That was also John Wall, who was drafted before. But that doesn't really count because how would they drafted him? Will only last 31 until he was 31 in the NBA with career averages of 7 points per game, 1.1 assists per game, and 3.2 rebounds per game with 40% from field, 33% from three. Next up, we got Derek Williams, drafted in 2011 NBA draft with the 2nd overall pick. His NBA comparison was a Maui Stoudemire, which is crazy to think about because throughout his NBA career, he only averaged 8.9 points per game. In his best season, he only averaged 12, which with okay efficiency. While Murray averaged 18 points per game in his best season, he averaged 25.2 per game and almost 10 rebounds per game, with better efficiency except from the 3-point line because Murray didn't shoot threes, while Derek Williams only averaged 5 rebounds per game. And also, Derek Williams was drafted ahead of Kemba Walker, Klay Thompson, Jimmy Fredette, the GOAT, just kidding, Marcus Morris, Markieff Morris are really good role players, Kawhi Leonard, Nikola Vucevic, Tobias Harris, and Jimmy Butler. Is just crazy. He was drafted in front of 6 All-Stars. Honorable mentions goes to John Vasily, who was picked by the Washington Wizards, 6 points per game, and he was a 7th overall pick. Alright, next up we got the 2012 NBA draft, and the bust for this draft is MKG, aka Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Leading up to the 2012 NBA draft, he was being compared to Gerald Wallace / Andre Iguodala, which makes sense because MKG was a great defender just like both of them. Were very athletic, but they could also shoot the ball good, unlike MKG, who couldn't shoot at all and possibly had the worst jump shot I've ever seen in my lifetime. And he only averaged 9 points in his first season and throughout his entire NBA career. But he did do on good efficiency from the field, but god awful efficiency from the three because that jump shot. Get a good jump shot, but he never did, and if he doesn't get a good jump shot, he'll be out of the NBA sooner than later. Next up, we got the 2013 NBA draft, and this is obvious. It's going to be Anthony Bennett, which even leading up to the NBA draft wasn't expected to go number 1, and was expected to go 8th to the Pistons. It was a surprise to everyone when he went number 1 to the Cavs. His comparison was Ronnie Washers, who was a mediocre NBA player and did win 6th Man of the Year in I think in 1999-2000 NBA season. But even with being a mediocre NBA player, he is still way better than Anthony Bennett ever was. And Anthony Bennett only lasted 4 seasons in the NBA, averaging 4.4 points per game with terrible shooting percentages. Next up, we got the 2014 NBA draft. Now, this is a tough one because there's 3 players that underperformed, and Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker, and Dante Exum. But in my opinion, the bust in the draft is Dante Exum. And leading up to the NBA draft, he was compared to Penny Hardaway, but Dante Exum always got injured, only averaged 4.8 points per game in his rookie year on terrible efficiency. Penny Hardaway averaged 16 points on good efficiency, except from the 3. And next up, we got the 2015 NBA draft, and this one is the easier one to decide in my opinion, because the bust in this draft is Mario Hezonja. He was expected to be an exceptional shooter and a athletic beast, and he was also an underrated passer. He was being compared to the likes of Rex Chapman, who was a lights-out shooter. Mario Hezonja never fulfilled his potential, but this shows signs of being a star by dunking Giannis Antetokounmpo. Honorable mentions go to Joe Okafor, who was doing okay his rookie year, but then got less and less playing time because his style of play wasn't suited for today's NBA. Next up, we got the 2016 NBA draft, and the bust for this draft is going to be Dragan Bender, who, just like any big foreign NBA player that could shoot, was being compared to Dirk Nowitzki, and was picked 4th by the Suns. In his first season, he only played 43 games and averaged 3.4 points per game on terrible shooting percentages, with 27% from the 3 and 35% from the field. And then in his rookie year, he doubled his averages, it got better efficiency, and also doubled his rebounds, but he really never improved after that, and he was also drafted in front of two All-Stars in Sabonis, Siakam, and future All-Stars in Jamal Murray and maybe DeJounte Murray. Last but not least, we got the 2017 NBA draft, and in my opinion, the bust for this draft is Josh Jackson. When he was being drafted, he was being compared to Kawhi Leonard because of his defensive skills and athleticism. Josh Jackson in his rookie year averaged 13 points per game, allowing good efficiency from the field but terrible efficiency from the three. In his second year, he almost did the same thing but stepped it out towards the end of the year because NBA teams didn't try as much towards the end of the year because the playoff seeds were already locked. But then he got traded to Memphis Grizzlies the next year and was sent down to the G League. But he still has a chance of being a good role player, like a 3-and-D type of guy.